Welcome. This is supposed to be day 10 of a 100-day challenge to post for 100 days straight on YouTube doing long form videos. Up until today, I've been very curated, very intentional about my post. And today just wasn't a great day. Very busy weekend, very busy start of the week, the eve of my son's birthday. And this is challenging. First, you get to the excitement part, right? Then you come up with content that you hope will help others, which is my whole purpose for doing these long form videos on YouTube. It's because of my obedience, really, in believing that I have something to say, that my story will encourage and inspire others. And it's the end of the day, really late past my bedtime. But I want to honor my commitment. I don't know how many folks will watch this video. I don't. Um, but I guess it's important to be raw. I'm also realizing that I didn't shut the door to my studio, so I hope the sound is pretty good and you're not getting any outside noise. Again, my least prepared, but probably most authentic, maybe, video yet. And so, again, I'm doing this out of obedience. I want to remain consistent to something. I want to offer tools and relief and ease to others. In a previous video, I talked about the reason why I love yoga, and I'll probably link that video to this one in case you want to switch and watch that one instead. Today, I thought my offering would be something that I did pre record. I was actually interviewed um, for archival purposes with an organization called Shorefront. Shout out to Shorefront. They collect the Black history of the North Shore, the areas surrounding the Chicagoland area. And I was asked to be interviewed to talk about my service and how I have been in a position and had the opportunity to serve my community in different ways. I was asked questions like, when did your serving start? And I had to think about that. And actually, I'm pretty sure it started in the church. That's where my volunteerism started. And now my overhead light is blinking really weirdly as well. So, yeah, this has been a day. I'm about to call it a day. I almost came on here with a bonnet, but chose not to do that. Um, Even though that might have even been more authentic and more real. But I'm not there yet. I am just not quite there yet. Some of the other questions I was asked was about the yoga, the mindfulness, and the meditation, and when that started. And I will share a longer story about when my actual teaching practice started. But I did talk about my love for teaching seniors and how I taught at a community center in the town that I grew up. And what a lovely and wonderful and funny experience that was for me. Very, very supportive. And I have so many fond memories of a lot of those former students because they have gone on to glory. I used to have a couple that would come in that were on canes, and I would joke with them and say, "Come on, lift those canes up high." And we would do yoga, and I would teach them yoga in a circle. And so my seniors are extremely funny. I'm right-handed, and so when I would make adjustments and kind of have them hold poses, I would go to my right and make my way around. And they didn't talk to me, I don't think, personally, but I heard that they were upset um, because I was always going the same way. And that appeared like I had maybe favorites. I don't know. So I had to start reversing that. In every class that I've ever taught, um, people choose their spaces, right? They come into class and they put their mats or their chairs in the same places depending on where I'm teaching. They know who they like to practice next to, so forth and so on. And so they were all pretty much in the same spaces that they had been in. Another funny story about my seniors: you need to breathe, right? And I would cue to breathe in and out through the nose. And so it's very difficult to breathe in and out through the nose if you're talking. And so once I had established my class and it had been going for a while, and a new senior would come in and, they would interrupt because they had questions that they needed answered, right? So there came a time when, the other seniors in the group who had been there longer, they would put a kibosh on that. They would say, no, 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 you cannot talk during yoga. So I kind of miss them a lot. But it was nice to relive some of those stories of my earlier teaching days. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get some rest. And as always, don't forget to remember what you already know, no matter what that is, no matter if it's the love of seniors, if it's the love of what you do, don't forget to remember what you already know. Be well.